So actually, let's get started with virtual assistant. What is virtual assistant? What are some of the skills you need to have? Where can you be able to learn virtual assistant skills on the online space? And what are some of the tools that you are required to have to understand as a VA? Because I know so many people want to learn virtual assistant. So many people I've been hearing about VA. Maybe you want to be able to get started in virtual. Let's get started with virtual assistant. So, what exactly is a VA? Who is a VA, and why is a VA needed? So, a virtual assistant is just an assistant who helps you in handling your daily activities as a business owner, as a CEO. So, as a virtual assistant, you'll be required to handle a couple of admin work uh, just to make work easier, to save them time. It's not that they cannot be able to do it, but it's just that they need someone who can be able to make work easier for them. So, that is who a virtual assistant is. Okay. And then it comes to virtual assistant, um, there are a couple of skills you need to be able to know. But before we head on to the skills, you need to understand that virtual assistant, anybody can be a virtual assistant, but you need to be someone who is willing to actually be under someone, because as a VA, you will actually be under someone who needs you to make work easier for them. So you'll not be on the spotlight. So that means you need to be willing to be under someone, and you need to be willing to be pushed around, in other words, because someone will need you to make sure that the the calendar is clean, everything is organized, their email is clean, everything is looking good. They need their bookings and everything to be on point. So most of the time, you'll be handling other people's work, and it will be so hard on your side to handle for yourself. So you need to be someone who is willing and disciplined to actually focus on helping other people, and not just handling it, dealing on your own in terms of for your own sake. So let's remove the thing that is making it look fantasy, in the sense that as a VA will just be working at home, everything and everything. There is that part of working from home, but you need to understand this, that even when you're working from home, you will be handling a couple of things. You'll be handling your client's work, so it will take time. It's not a get rich scheme where you just be working 1 hour a day and things are done. No, there are some VAs who work even up to 8 hours a day, especially if you are dealing with clients who have a lot of things to handle. They have a lot of work to handle. So you need to focus on that, and you need to be able to understand that side of a VA. So let's focus on what are some of the skills you need to have as a virtual assistant before I can tell you where you can be able to get started, because you need to know if it's something you are willing to learn, yeah? So as a virtual assistant, the first skill which is mostly required is administrative skills. So you need to be able to have skills that can be able to administration. So when you talk about administration, we are talking about email management skills, you being able to manage someone's email. And when it comes to managing someone's email, it's simply just you being able to make sure that their email is not cluttered, making sure that the most important emails are put first, like either creating a folder, creating a flyer, and all this for important emails, making sure that the scam ones are removed, and everything that needs to be organized in the emails is organized, because you'll be handling most of their emails. So you need to be able even to know how to respond at times, because a client may want you to respond to some emails, not all emails, but to some emails. So the ones that are not needed, the ones that you need to unsubscribe to, you can be able to unsubscribe, The ones that are important, you need to put them aside. The ones that you need to create a folder for them. So that is email management. Another one is calendar management. So when it comes to calendar, it is you just being able to organize their workflow, how the day will be. Like if they wake up in the morning, they're handling things from morning to 2 p.m. What are some of the things they need to handle? You need to be able to place the right what you need to be able to place the most important things first. So let's say they have a meeting and they like to handle their meetings in the morning. So that those are some of the things you need to make sure you handle. So when it comes to calendar management, it is up to you and the person you're working with. They need to be able to give you the schedule how they like it. Others may want you to uh, put their meetings in the afternoon. So it depends with the person you're working with. So calendar management is something you'll be handling as a virtual assistant. Another thing is scheduling. So scheduling, it can just be scheduling calls, because most business people, founders, CEOs, they have a lot of calls that they need to handle, that they need to work with. So you'll be required to schedule. And right now, when it comes to scheduling, you don't have to go through a lot of process. You can make your work easier through tools like Calendly, because Calendly is a tool that allows you to be able just to create a link, so that when someone wants to book, they can be able to book the time they want the call to be. And so you don't have to go through the process of manually doing it. So they can be able to just book the call and everything. And you just need to schedule in terms of what time they'll be required to have a call, if it's a Google meeting or on Zoom or just the random calls. Okay, so you need to be able to understand how you will schedule them in terms of Google, in terms of Zoom, whichever platform you are using. So that is mostly about administrative skills. And if you look at it, that was what most VAs used to do, like uh 3 4 years ago. But right now, people have advanced, so you don't just need to focus on administrative skills alone. If you want to be able to see your virtual assistant business go to a different level, you need to be able to improve in other skills. Another skill that you need to focus on is under communication skills. So when it comes to communication skills, you need to be able to know how to communicate, because communication is what will help you and your client to be able to know um, which page you're in. Because if you don't know how to communicate to the client in the right way, it will be hard for you. And communication skills, you can be able to, just in terms of you being able to audibly speak to people, that is the first thing. uh because you see, at times people are very shy, they don't know how to talk. Like you cannot even be able to speak to someone confidently for 1 hour or 30 minutes without having to uh feel shy about it. So you need to be someone who is confident in speaking. If you have to take some exercises for yourself, you need to do that, because you will be required to speak. Another thing is you need to be able to also uh, understand communication tools. I'll be mentioning that later, but as a VA, you need to understand communication tools that will help you, especially if the client you're working with is uh, remotely. Mostly you're working remotely, so you'll definitely need to have communication tools that will make work easier for you and the client. If you guys have a different time zone, so maybe it's night when your client's place is in the morning, so it will require you to have communication tools that will help you and simplify the work for you. Another one is online skills. So when you're talking about online or technical skills, we are just talking about skills that will make work easier for your clients in terms of virtual assistant skills. Because just Let me work on this. Yeah. So online skills, they are literally you being able to understand how to use the tools that will require you to make work easier for your clients. So I'm talking about tools like Trello, I'm talking about tools like Slack, I'm talking about tools like Monday.com. I know someone is like, all this, especially if you're someone who has no idea who a VA is. That's why I will be having a master class that will be happening on the 1st and the 2nd of December. So if you are someone who has been eyeing to do virtual assistant to get started in VA, you can join that master class. The link to the master class is on my bio. We'll be talking about everything that we're just saying here and how I'll be guiding you on how to get started as a VA. Okay, so don't feel confused. This is just a snippet of what you will be getting in that masterclass. And for someone maybe who may be interested in virtual assistant courses, because I am currently working on the VA course, you can sign up for the waiting list. For someone who wants to just to get the course, they don't want the masterclass, they just want the course, you can sign up for the waiting list. When I have created that mini course, I will be sharing with you. So you can just sign up. The link to the waiting list is on my bio. Okay. And another skill that you cannot afford to miss as a VA, especially right now, is social media marketing, because so many CEOs, so many founders, business people, they want to be on the online space. They want to build a brand. They want to be seen. They want to be noticed. Um, kubalance aje? Nani amekwambia ubalance?
Kubalance ile ya kuraise sketa kama ujui kubalance.
Sini kama unaweza simama nayo bila kuanguka. Hiyo ndo kubalance.
Hiyo. Sasa.
Okay. So like I was saying, in this time as a social media manager, you need to did I say so? As a virtual assistant, you need to have social media marketing skills, because most business people will not just require you to handle their administrative work alone. You need to add on skills to do with social media marketing. So things to do with how to help them in creating content, because most business people may require to be building a brand for themselves on the online space. So they definitely would want someone who can help them in content creation. That is just being able to give them ideas on how they can be able to create content, what kind of content will work for them. If either it's depending on the goals they have for themselves or their business or their brand. It can either be wanting to grow, so it can be growth kind of content, it can be conversion, it can be community building. So it really depends with their goals as a business person or as a founder who you are working with. So you definitely need to add social media marketing into your social media marketing skills into the skills that you need to learn as a VA. So under social media marketing, like I was saying, you need to know things to do with content creation. You need to know a bit about editing. And when it comes to editing, tools like CapCut will help you. I use CapCut most of the time in editing my videos, my YouTube videos, my content. So CapCut is a good starter. You can also learn a bit about uh, designing, so graphic design in places like Canva. So your client may require you maybe to design for them a poster, a flyer that they can be able to share. So having that designing skills will help you. And like I always say, Canva is a beginner friendly app. You can get started with them. It's free and You can explore as many times as you want, because that is how people learn. Okay. Yeah. The last skill is that you need to understand as a VA is business skills. So just having all these skills and not having business skills will really not help your brand. So when it comes to business skills, I'm talking about knowing how to sell. As a VA, you need to be able to know how to sell yourself to clients. You need to be able to know how to speak to them, how to sell your idea to them so that they can buy from you. So that is one thing you need to know as a virtual assistant. How do I sell my skills? How do I sell my services out here? You need to know how to negotiate, because you will meet up with clients who will just play with your mind. So if you can be able to know how to negotiate, you don't want to go too low and you don't want to go too high, in the sense that you lose the client. So know how to negotiate, know how to sell yourself, know how to price yourself. You need to know your worth. When you are starting off here, it will be, you won't price yourself too high, but as time goes by, you need to put yourself, you need to be able to know how to price yourself in terms of the work you are doing and the time it takes you, so that you can combine these two and say, okay, this is how much I need to pay myself on an hourly basis, because this task may take me this kind of time. So this is how much I need to pay myself. Yeah. So those are some of the things you need to be able to understand, and the skills you need to be able to understand as a virtual assistant. And I said, if you are just joining, you can be able to get yourself a masterclass where we'll be guiding you. I'll be giving you a guideline on how, on the skills you need to have, the tools you need to learn, where you can be able to learn. I'll be guiding you and walking you step by step. I'll also be giving you templates that can help you in getting started. Templates to do with portfolio templates after you have learned how do you create a portfolio and all this. Yeah. So those are some of the things that I will be sharing on that masterclass. It's a 2-day masterclass. So if you want to join, the link to the masterclass is on my bio. Let's talk about now where you can be able to learn for free. So for me, when I started learning virtual assistant, I learned virtual assistant skills last year, and I was able to get I was able to be one of those people that took the courses with ALX. I don't know if some of you have heard about ALX. So they were offering, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. They were offering virtual assistant skills. So that is where I learned through ALX. But right now, I'm not sure if they're offering for free. But that is where I learned mine. But if you are getting started, if you want to learn for free, like hauna pesa, unataka kujifunza ALX and not ALX, unataka kujifunza virtual assistant skills, the first place I will recommend you to get started, the first place, itakuwa this app is called Allison. I don't think I have the link, but yeah, Allison, you can get started with Allison. So Allison will allow you to be able to, start as a beginner level, just to understand who a virtual assistant is. They will walk you through, but one thing you need to know about Allison is you learn at your own pace, in the sense that no one is there to like monitor you, no one is there to tell you sasa unafaa ukuwe umemaliza within this period and this time. So mostly people end up not I started with Allison mimi mwenyewe. I took time to learn in Allison, but the problem was, see, if you're not disciplined enough, you will not be able to you'll not be able to finish that course. That is the truth. you'll not be able to finish the course. Hebu endeni mcheze nje. Tokeni huko, tokeni. Tokeni huko, endeni nje. Endeni nje. Enda nje. Okay, so let's get started. Let's continue. So when it comes to learning, virtual assistant skills, like I was saying, okay, it's okay. So when it comes to learning, so I was saying, the first place you can be able to learn for free is on Allison. So Allison will allow you to be able to register and learn with them. But shida ni, if you are someone who is not consistent, kama wewe ni ule mtu mwenye unataka kusukumwa ndo ufanye kitu ndo usome, I don't think Allison is for you. Cause utakuwa unaenda una register kwa hizi online e-learning platforms, alafu you don't end up learning because when mtu wa kusukumwa. So you need to have like accountability partners. You need to be able to have people that will help you. Mason, agree. Hebu toka hapo. Toka hapo. Toka kwa dirisha, acha kunigongea. Wewe Mason, kama ni nini, hebu ingia uchukue mkate ukunywe na utoke hapa. Chukua chai na mkate na utoke hapa. Ukunywe na utoke. Juu ni mchezo tu nataka kufanya. Utaharibu. Utaharibu tunajua. Sina kwambia utaharibu. Ukiharibu nifanyaje? Sasa unapunguzia wapi? Na si uchukue kuliko na uchukue na kijiko, si na mikono. So let's come back. I was saying, okay, if you're someone who wants to learn on the online space, I'm talking about e-learning. You need to be consistent in terms of, not consistent, discipline. You need to be disciplined, because you see, learning on the online space requires someone who is committed to what they want to do. They're committed to learning, they're committed to putting themselves. But kama wewe ni ule mtu mwenye you have to be pushed, you have to, you like to have accountability partners or people who can help you, you you can join that master class because it's a slot for 20 people. So meaning after the master class, we'll be having a WhatsApp group where we'll be just being accountable for each other. So you'll be able to choose an accountable partner that can help you in making sure that whatever you had said, vile ulikuwa umesema you will learn that skill, by the time that period is coming to an end, you have actually done that. Yeah. So that masterclass is for people, because me mwenye najua, I have ever been in that situation where I want to learn, I really want to learn, but you just find yourself like the first 2 3 days, the first 1 week, you are consistent, you are literally learning, but after that you don't have that motivation to continue, because along the way you just feel like giving up. Along the way you just feel like you're tired. So having accountable partners and people who can push you and help you to be able to, finish the journey that you have started of learning will really help you. So make sure that if you want to learn the VA skills and you want to be able to have accountable partners, you can join the masterclass. It will be happening the 1st and the 2nd of December, next month, that is. And it's a masterclass that will be guiding you on how to learn. So something like virtual assistant, you can learn in 30 days. Yes, you can learn in 30 days if you are committed. So sitting down and actually understanding the tools, understanding mostly the tools, because the tools are the ones that will help you to be able to do the work. So being able to understand the tools, being able to know how to use the tools is definitely what is needed, and is especially what is we, hebu wekea mwingine, acha hii ulafu. Ekea mwingine supu. Umechukuaje supu yote alafu unamwaga yote kwa chakula yako hivyo? Na ndio maana nilikuwa nasema sitaki mkuja hapa. Juu ni kupigania tu ndo mnapigania. Niso unakuwa na tabia mbaya. Hiyo ni mbaya. Acha kuniambia imeisha na wewe umefanya kitu unajua. Mbona hukuchukua saa nyingine uweke mchele? Ukamwaga yote kwa hiyo kitu. Acha kuniambia sikuweka nini, nisaidia nini? Mbona ulichukua yote ukamwaga kwa hiyo sahani? Mnanibo, fanyeni mto